The loudest play at the LA Coliseum, December 16th, 1951, happened 400 miles away in San Francisco. This is NFL Chapters, where one old game gives us an excuse to open the trapdoor under an entire era. This is chapter 2240. Today, that game is Green Bay at Los Angeles, a 42-14 blowout with the pennant race hiding inside it. The NFL has 12 teams, a 12-game schedule, and no Super Bowl. There's 2 conferences, 2 divisions, and only the first place team in each conference gets to play for the championship. There's no wild card. There's no side door. Finish second, then go get a real job for the winner. 4 teams reach the final Sunday alive in the National Conference. Detroit 7-3 with a tie. The Rams and Bears are both 7-4. San Francisco is 6-4 with a tie. During the season, all 4 have either led the conference or shared the lead. Between 1933 and 1969, this is the only NFL race in which 4 teams still have a path to first place on the final day. Los Angeles has to beat Green Bay. They also need San Francisco to beat Detroit, and a Chicago win could still force a 1-game playoff. So the Rams can handle the Packers, but they can't handle the whole problem. And that matters because LA just lost 24-22 to Detroit. Bob Waterfield kicked 5 field goals in that game. But the Rams left Michigan needing somebody else to fix the standings. Green Bay is 3-8. They started 3-2, lost 6 straight, and already got shut out by LA once, 28-20. Their season is over. Their ability to ruin somebody else's isn't. These Rams are football's version of a studio picture with an all-star cast. Waterfield won league MVP as a rookie in 1945. Then he immediately quarterbacked the Rams to a championship. He throws the ball and kicks it and punts it, and he plays safety. He's married to movie star Jane Russell. So even his home life feels aggressively Hollywood. The other quarterback is Norm Van Brocklin, and just calling him the other quarterback doesn't quite cut it. Van Brocklin opened this season by throwing for 554 yards, and that's still the NFL single-game record, 75 years later. 2 future Hall of Fame quarterbacks share one offense because head coach Joe Steinhardt has decided that choosing is too hard. So if you're Steinhardt, do you rotate them, or would that drive you crazy? If you've got 2 Hall of Famers, is sharing the job clever, or are you volunteering for a controversy? Then there's Elroy Hirsch. He was a halfback at Wisconsin and Michigan, spent 3 rough years with the Chicago Rockets in the AAFC, and reached the Rams in 1949. LA moved him to end and unlocked one of the best receiving seasons anybody had ever seen. This is a 12-game season, remember. 66 games, 1,495 yards, and 17 touchdowns. His stride kicked violently, sideways, so that the nickname Crazy Legs followed him for the rest of his career and life. Tom Fears is on the other side. Dan Towler's in the backfield. That's what Los Angeles can do to you. They can solve one problem and discover another one running loose behind it. Meanwhile, Green Bay's living in a different movie. Curly Lambeau's gone. The franchise nearly went broke. They held another stock sale in 1950 and handed the rebuild to Gene Ronzani. Now, Ronzani does have Tobin Rote. Rote is a huge mobile quarterback who leads the Packers in passing and rushing. He also has Bob Mann, who's the first black player to appear in a regular season game for Green Bay. Mann once led the NFL in receiving for Detroit. And now at the age of 27, he's still dangerous. Plenty dangerous. What Green Bay doesn't have is balance. The Packers throw more than everybody because they usually have to. Their defense just keeps gifting the points back. They're not boring, they are exhausting. Only 23,698 people spread themselves around the Coliseum, but plenty bring portable radios. The Rams are playing Green Bay with their eyes and listening to San Francisco, Detroit with one ear. Waterfield strikes first, hitting Dick Horner for a 16-yard touchdown. Rote answers with a 38-yarder to Billy Grimes. Then Hirsch gets behind Green Bay for 72 yards. And the Rams lead 14-7. Tobin finds Carl Elliott for 14 yards in the second quarter. So at halftime, it's 14-14. Green Bay has dragged the Rams into exactly the nervous afternoon that LA couldn't afford. The tension's real. It just won't survive past the third quarter. Waterfield hits Fears for a 39-yard score. Then the Packers try a long field goal. It misses. Jerry Williams, remember that name, catches it in the end zone. 99 yards later, he's standing in the other end zone. LA leads 28-14. And here's a statistic with its own sequel. That 99-yard return, that's an NFL record, and it lasts 20 years. In 1971, after a rule change allows missed kicks landing in the end zone to be returned, Al Nelson of the Eagles breaks it with a 102-yarder. Nelson's head coach that day? Jerry Williams. Imagine that, watching one of your own players erase your record while you're trying to win the game. So in other words, football ate its own tail and made the record holder supervise. Back in 1951, Hirsch catches touchdown passes of 37 and 19 in the fourth. The second gives him 3 for the day and 17 for the season, tying Don Hutson's league record. Waterfield completes only 10 passes, but 5 go for touchdowns. Hirsch catches 6 balls for 146 yards, while Towler runs for 102. The Rams score 42, even though Waterfield throws 2 picks and Green Bay gains more total yardage. It's not really by much, though. 403 to 396. 7 yards, like 1%. That box scores the whole game in miniature. Offense is construction. 11 men follow a blueprint and build a drive together. Defense is demolition. One defender pulls out the right support beam, and the whole thing comes crashing down. The Packers run 79 plays to the Rams' 54 and make 20 first downs. Rote throws for 335 yards, and Mann catches 11 balls for 123. But Rote also throws 3 interceptions. Green Bay commits 4 turnovers in total, and they don't score after half. So, in our construction metaphor, the Packers kept trying to build, and the Rams kept destroying the load-bearing wall. Meanwhile, the other game takes over the building. The 49ers trail Detroit 17-14 late. San Francisco Tony Morabito won't allow the LA score to be posted at Kezar Stadium, so his team doesn't know the Rams have already made a 49ers championship impossible. The 49ers keep fighting anyway, and who knows, maybe it's because they didn't know. When San Francisco gets a first down at the Detroit 2, the Rams bench erupts 400 miles away. Players on the field join the celebration and draw a delay of game penalty during their own game. Public address announcer Frank Bull gets scrambled and declares the Rams have the ball on the 49ers' 22-yard line. Hey, that's close enough. By now, both games occupy the same patch of grass. The 49ers score inside the final 3 minutes and beat Detroit 21-17. The Bears have already been upset by the 2-9 Cardinals. LA finishes 8-4, alone in first place. The Rams beat Green Bay by 28 points, but they clinch when a team that's already eliminated finishes a job it doesn't know is meaningless, to them anyways. So who owns that moment in your mind? Waterfield and Hirsch, or the 49ers, who supplied the result LA couldn't create for itself? And this isn't the useful modern podium era. The useful quotes come from locker rooms, team parties, and newspaper follow-ups. At the Rams celebration, Steinhart says, "We ought to have the 49ers in here with us." And he's not being cute. Without San Fran, LA's afternoon is just a large win, followed by a quiet ride home. The Green Bay coverage feels less festive. Ronzani later says he'll take full responsibility for the season. He admits the Packers can grab leads, but they can't hold on, and says the offense ranks well, while the defense is something else again. That's a coach trying to describe a fire without pointing at any one guy holding a gas can. Green Bay finishes 3-9 with 7 straight losses. The Packers attempt 478 passes in a 12-game season. That's almost 40 passes a game in 1951. That's more than any other NFL team will throw in a season during the entire 1950s. Some records announce greatness. This one mostly announces that the scoreboard kept making them chase. And there's a strange little transaction hanging over this game. Green Bay acquired quarterback Bobby Thomason from LA on a conditional deal. Keeping him past December 31st would cost the Packers first and second round picks or equivalent talent. Ronzani wants to renegotiate after the game, but Steinahar, he suddenly has a championship to prepare for. Green Bay sends Thomason back rather than play Santa Claus to the Rams. Veteran Tony Canadeo announces his retirement on the West Coast, then returns for one more season. The Packers leave sunny California and arrive home during a raging Green Bay snowstorm. So even the weather is heckling them. 1 week later, the Rams host the Cleveland Browns for the NFL Championship. It's their third straight title appearance, and Cleveland beat them 30-28 the year before. But this time, Van Brocklin throws a 73-yard touchdown to Fears, and LA wins 24-17. The game is carried nationwide by the DuMont Network, the first NFL championship to get that treatment. The Rams earn what's generally recognized as Los Angeles' first major professional sports championship. LA closes the year leading the NFL in scoring, total offense, and passing yards. For one season at least, all that quarterback sharing, not a controversy. It's the whole point. They go 9-3 in 1952, but they lose the conference playoff to Detroit. Steinahar resigns after the opener, and Waterfield retires after the season. The Rams, they stay glamorous and dangerous. But this exact group never gets another title together. The franchise won't win another championship in Los Angeles until Super Bowl 56, 70 years later. They do win one in St. Louis, 1 or 2, I don't remember. In 1952, Green Bay finishes 6-6, then falls backwards again. The real rescue is still years away. Vince Lombardi arrives in 1959, and by 1961, the Packers are champions. This game isn't part of the dynasty. It's the hard, forgotten ground underneath. The players keep bending the story in interesting directions. Waterfield enters the Hall of Fame. Hirsch does as well, then works as the Rams GM, and later runs Wisconsin's athletic department. Rote gets the best reversal. The quarterback who throws 3 interceptions in this loss eventually leads Detroit to the 1957 NFL Championship. Then he takes San Diego to the 1963 AFL title and wins league MVP. In doing so, he becomes the only quarterback to lead teams to championships in both leagues. And that's why old blowouts are worth opening back up sometimes. One side of the score contains a champion waiting 7 days. The other contains a champion waiting 6 years. The final doesn't know which future matters more. So would you rather control your own path and carry all the pressure? I think so, yeah. Or need help and spend the afternoon listening to somebody else decide your season. And if you're a 49er, would you want that Rams score posted? Or would you rather play free and learn the truth afterward? Put it in the chat, along with the old game you want us to crack open next. I'm the Wolf, this is Sports Lab 100, and if you hung around, thank you, and maybe I'll see you next time.